Hello friends and welcome back to episode 5 of our Nova Roma Crusader Kings III modded playthrough. We spent the last episode making some relatively significant territorial gains and strengthening our military position, and we look to continue that success in this episode. Our character is now 43 years old and he's getting on a wee bit. In doing so he wants a nice steady court, so we have restructured most of the positions and appointed a load of new characters to these. And I think this episode we're going to look to tie in our borders, maybe try and tidy this up a bit. And I'd like to try and avenge our loss here against the Vengi. So I think that's on the cards. I've also restructured our sort of men-at-arms. I've got rid of one of our bowmen. We had 2 max-size units of bowmen and I've put in another heavy infantry. I think in time I'll probably get rid of these pikemen and do the same, but they are hella expensive. So we're going to start off with a declaration of war here. We could claim the duchy and take everything. But I don't think I will. I think we'll just take the county, because that's pretty much the same size. So we're going to go in there and take that. That'll creep our way up the west coast. Another thing about doing this is it brings us ever closer to possibly trying to get them into the Nova Roma Empire. But we'll raise the troops and then we'll immediately go over the border and say hello. This should be a pretty quick war, I think. An even quicker battle, I dare say. Right, this battle, I think it's a foregone conclusion. The only thing that could maybe go wrong is if someone gets wounded. The heavy infantry are making a massive difference. Oh god, okay. Someone's just fallen in battle. It's not ideal. Okay, they're bringing their forces back at us. Thankfully we're on the capital, so they're going to have to move us and we can just sit here and wait. And they're actually coming at us. A bold move. A very bold move. Wow, this fight is surprisingly even. What is happening here? What is happening? I do not understand how they're beating us here. Good lord, I didn't expect that. Our High Shaman's been injured in the battle. Germanus. I did not expect that. They absolutely destroyed us there. They have well and truly sent us packing. Well, we're going to have to regather ourselves and go back at them, aren't we? So there they've got 700 archers. Okay, most of their units they were engaged in... most of their units they were using to engage us, they were actually men-at-arms. So I think that's probably had something to do with it. We are though going to march straight back up there. We'll replenish en route and then we'll go back at them and see what we can do. We can demand a payment here from our court musician. I think I'll leave it just now. In good time we will. Scrounger life. Namiar has become a permanent fixture of my court, and an expensive one. Actually, an expansive one too. She is there for every banquet, wolfing down everything in sight while complaining about how empty her own pantry is. You serve the best drinks, my lord, she says, after downing another tankard of my finest imported teas. You're the most zealous, the most perceptive, the best looking lord, she declares. Her hand extended for another loan she will never repay. She's an annoying waste of money, but her exaggerated antics are quite entertaining. She's content, arbitrary, and greedy. Yeah, I think she's not got any jobs within her court. I mean, her stats are okay, but she can frankly leave. Our marshal's dead. So again, I'd love to give it to the most fitting character, but sadly we need to give it to the sort of the highest rank counter duchy. So I think in this case it's probably Baronessa Suri. She can inherit the role there. 5 years till we convert Nova Roma, and our culture's growing quite well. Our culture is growing quite well, which is good to see. I'm going to raise what little troops we have here. I assume they're going to be champions. We'll gather our forces and then we're going to cross the border. See if we can dislodge them. I reckon if we get beaten again, we're going to have to pull some magic here. Maybe even try and attack them from the other side. You're always there for me, and I hope you know that I am grateful. My ward Comes Flavianus approached me in a rare display of appreciation. Now this is this is the ruler up in the northeast, I believe. I'll form a friendship well. That seems fair. He's a young man. We're trying to raise him and teach him the Roman ways, the Roman ethics of this world. Combining the troops and then across the border we go. The shrine has been constructed. It's excellent. The temple holding here we can rename. It's going to be the Temple of Kylanius. He's built it in his honour. And then I should probably give that away as well, shouldn't I? I'll give this one to a local of Roman culture. That's perfectly fine with me. Right, across the border, big battle. Going to possibly decide this war. They have the edge again. What is happening here? I think this skirmish is just going on too long, and they're just reducing their numbers so much. Like, we need the heavy infantry getting involved here. We're just not reducing their numbers enough. That's really rough. We're losing so many allied combatants as well. We could call allies in, but I really didn't want to have to do this for such a sort of daft war. Okay, our Roman forces have been repelled a number of times now. I think we're going to have to take a bit of an alternate approach. So we're going to send our troops up to here, and then we're going to go across the border. And I think what we're going to do is actually attack the ally and see if we can draw the armies off of that point. They are coming towards us. Maybe we should try and fight them on our own territory. I wonder if they have a held territory advantage or something along those lines. All I know is if we suffer one more sort of heavy defeat like we have previously, we're in trouble. Our promote culture has been successful. That means almost a full isle. Almost. No, I'm getting overexcited. It's not almost a full isle. There's a lot still to go. Got another stewardship perk. I think this time we're going to go for... I think we'll go for large levies. I think we need to gather as many troops as we can, especially when wars have been frequently ending up this way. I assume they're going to come and counterattack us, but I really don't know with this game. Let's raise some troops there. We need every man we can get. Get them in there. That's mostly men-at-arms that's raised. Sorry, that's mostly knights. So we need every bit of reinforcements we can get. Once we siege this, I reckon we'll try and go through our own lands and head... Oh, they've got 3.5k men. What is happening here? Where have they came from? They have a new ally, don't they? They do. This guy's called the Bully. He's the leader of the Rata Kingdom. So they've ended up in this war. You know what? I did not want to have to do this. But I think we're going to call in our ally. I think we're going to call in our ally and sort of kick off the war in the area. If they want to call in their allies, we can do the exact same. He is joining us. So successful siege there. We're then going to head the long way round. We're going to head the long way round here and do our best to gather up as many troops as we can. We can ransom prisoners as well, which is what we're going to do. We need to make as much money as we can. Education at an end. Commes Flavianus. He's our vassal. We were good friends with his father. We've raised him. He's turned into a young man. He's a gracious planner. So until we meet again, Flavianus, we'll be keeping an eye on him. Trying to help him raise him. We might even, you know, good relations between our families. We have a lot of daughters. You never know what could happen. Our ally is on our way. I'm just hoping it's not going to be too late. We have actually just lost this siege. So I reckon we're going to go back and try to siege that back. Man, these wars have been like so much more tedious than I anticipated. The peasants in the county of Batacaloa are in a good mood. The harvest is bountiful, the roads are safe, and the village elders are telling nonsensical stories of cows producing honey-laden milk and geese laying golden eggs. The peasants are praising me for their fortune and have sent a delegation carrying gifts. Arrogant, wrathful, and zealous. We're also we're pretty stiff in terms of a bit of stewardship, so I reckon we'd go for county reinvestment. We'll invest our own money back with them. So we're going back to counter siege this. Our ally, I'm hoping they're coming. They are coming, but it's going to take them a while. They are travelling basically the length and breadth of India. So we need to try and get down here as quick as we can and see if we can get in, but it's going to be a fair ask, I think. I could probably also hire some mercenaries if I feel like it's that close. We got a load of skirmishers here. 227 coin to get them. So if they end up attacking us, we might hire some last minute mercenaries to try and aid us. So we need to siege this back and then go across the border basically. The only problem is if we go across the border and end up losing that battle, we're going to end up losing the war. Our ally, I don't know if he's going to be here in time. There's a lot in this siege. They need to take the war score down, then we need to immediately get in a battle with them. At this point, I think we are far too close to lose this, so I think we're going to have to get some mercenaries. I'm going to go with the Roman band. We'll get them together, and then hopefully this combination of troops, as well as our ally coming in, can hopefully end the enemy's challenge in the area. I'm hoping this lowers the war score. It has, thankfully. We'll send the troops here, we'll combine them, and then we'll go in. Allies en route. I'm hoping that we can go in and declare, and then our ally will come in and immediately sort of form up on us. We will lead ourselves. They're sieging their capital. Did I exercise patience then, maybe? My daughter and heir Atia has given birth to a daughter. Since the little one is part... Okay, Constantina, that's a strong name. I'm happy with Constantina. Right, friends. Let's go and declare. Massive battle here for us. We really do need to win this, or we could possibly end up losing the war, actually. And it's saying a balanced battle, which isn't what we want. My lord, my beneficiary Satyava announced her arrival in a surprisingly loud voice. She proudly holds up a package securely wrapped in cloth. She has a moonstone electrum necklace. Makes us more attractive and gives us extra prestige. I am perfectly okay to equip that. So we now have our first trinket. We did appear to lose our antiquarian, so we'll give Damaruki. She can be appointed. We also put the Roman treaties down. Much coveted within the Indian subcontinent, but it's ours. Right, this is the battle that's sort of going to decide this war, and it does not look good again. It really doesn't look good. Even with Hiram mercenaries, we're still getting destroyed. I wonder what it is. The martial skill's less? I don't get it. There must be some sort of defender advantage here that I just don't get. We've lost the war and now we're bankrupt. That is a seriously rough turn of events. We're 300 in debt. Our armies have been decimated. And I'd say we've been embarrassed. Kylanius has truly been embarrassed. A 3-year war there, and he's honestly not in the best of health and the best of condition in the aftermath of that. These are tumultuous times for the county of Rohana. Report after report arrives detailing the dire states of affairs in the area, and the peasants have started muttering about alternative solutions. Increase the tax as punishment. That seems to be what our personality would go for, so the option has been made for us. I think we need to let some time pass here and try and get ourselves out of debt. We also have an event in court. Flesh wound. A pool of blood is congealing under the feet of Trisu, a diplomat sent by my ally, Yalpo Tride Umten of U. By the immense quantity soaked up by the fine carpet, I can only assume he has been bleeding on this spot for hours, if not longer. My apologies for this mess. I was defenestrated by a dwarf trying to rob me in an inn on my journey to Nova Roma. However, as a rapscallion cushioned my fall, the diplomatic visit can continue. It will still be days until my blood loss is fatal. Who is this man? Brutally mauled by a dwarf. You can't write this sometimes, can you? My calendar only has space next week. Can you hold on? We can talk now, but your liege is paying for my carpet. That is perfectly, I think, reasonable for me. If he's going to come in here and put his congealed blood over his carpet, you better believe he'll be paying for it. He also died straight after. That man, right, might have some diplomatic traits, but he was not a successful diplomat, it has to be said. And to go through your life as a chaste, impatient, stubborn diplomat and die after a fall onto a dwarf, that is not the way that I think most people would choose to go. But that'll be his legacy. Commes Julius friendship. I never expected I would grow as close to Commes Julius as I have done in the past few years. On multiple occasions he has proven himself to be a reliable and forthright man, with only my best interests at heart. It is rare to find a true friend. This countess under us here is taking the knee. We can hold court, and I see we have also inherited a castrum. So let's deal with that as soon as we can. So we have inherited the castrum of Dikpavi, I believe that is. Let's grant this one to a noble of Roman culture. We don't need that ourselves. I wake up in a sweat after a grueling nightmare, where an owl was constantly following me and testing my knowledge in the Tamil language. A symbol of wisdom in some cultures, the feathered fiend was stalking me throughout the night, and I dreaded disappointing it. Perhaps there is such a thing as too much knowledge, and this dream is a result of all the stress I feel in keeping my skills sharp. This cannot go on. We also have another trait. We're going to go for soon forgiven here, and go down that line. We can also hold court, so let's see what this fun bundle of joy holds. Welcome in the plebeians. My lord, I regret to inform you that the religious situation in my lands is out of control. I have tried to make my subjects see the light of our true faith, but too many of them persist in their wrong beliefs. I beg of you to use your authority and power to help me. We can help them. My lord, my steward Baro Siddhartha takes the floor. I have an idea to improve taxation. You could send surveyors to question your subjects about every property, its name, owner, extension, and value, and how many people and animals live there. So do a census then. We are almost, I mean, we're just out of debt, but I think a survey sounds like a good idea. A frightful peasant strolls all too close before a guard steps between us. Oh, he backs off with a wink. This one. Your lordness, I've come here from Isthmium with a matter of great import. His eyebrows undulate. You see, Rex, our cobbler's has been carrying on with the mason's wife's sister's cousin in the old village. I think we'll send someone to deal with it and not be our problem. And that is court done for now. We'll let time continue passing. Designate a guardian for Lysiana. That is our daughter. I think the court tutor makes sense in this instance, I'd say. Exercise in mediation. When the raised voices reach me yet again, I quench my instinct to turn on my heel. The constant bickering of my vassals, Comes Mahivia, and Baro Siddhata is enough to drive any man mad. Something must be done. I don't care for them. Mercenary contract is expiring. That's not what we wanted to hear, is it? The day of truth. Survey completed. It is done, my lord, states my steward Baro Siddhata as he bows in front of me. You gain steward land survey. An extra 5% vassal tax. It's not really a whole lot to get excited for, I would say. Lines about legacy. The latest work of my vassal Comes Constance has become all the rage at the court of late. The piece deals with memory and what we leave behind, and Constance has publicly dedicated it to me. A lament for the Rex. The mightiest men must leave this earth, no matter what realms they have given birth. 'Tis rare enough for men to admit that all they leave behind is shit. So far I've been keeping my thoughts to myself. I'm going to say this is truly heartfelt. I think we can all agree that it well and truly is, isn't it? I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. Tremendous. Okay, we have 4.6k troops. Obviously that will change with the mercenaries leaving us. Here, how's this war situation looking? I reckon we could probably try and avenge our previous sort of transgression. We could press his claim, which is what I think we're going to do. That being said, we actually don't have the prestige to do it, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and then give it to him. So let's declare for war here. I'm hoping they don't get any last-minute allies again. That was quite frustrating. And we'll move both of our... I don't know why we're raising two armies, but we'll send them both forward, and we'll try and siege both of their holdings here. All of their allies have joined the war, but I don't think that shocks us particularly. They have 1,800 troops that are trying to get round us using the sea. So I think what we'll probably do is, once they've disembarked, which they're doing pretty much immediately, we're going to station some troops here, form up to our rear, and I think we'll try and fight them whilst they're just disembarked. War declaration. Who are you? This isn't good. She's of the Chera. This is one of the folks that we've been slowly dissolving here. She's got 5.7k on her side. We're going to have to call in all of our allies here. I think we're in trouble. Yeah, I think we'll go for we'll call them into this defensive war. And I think we might need to call both of them in, actually. We're going to call them both in, and I mean, genuinely, we have to cross our fingers and hope for the best. We could be in big trouble here if we lose any large battles. This is the first time we've been genuinely, like, really badly threatened. Our allies have joined us in one of the wars, so this is the one they're not helping us. So we do need to try and finish this one as quick as we can, actually. You know the thing, right? My confidence in our own troops has been dented. Like, normally I'd go into this thinking, hee, we've got this. I'm honestly not sure. I'm really not sure here. We are sieging here very nicely. Once they're done, we'll probably bound forward. We should be able to end that war pretty quickly. We're increasing in number here. They're breaking their siege for some reason. I'm going to chase them down. We can designate a guardian for Viviana. That is also our daughter. I think our court tutor can also take that one over. We can sponsor an inspiration. He wants to make a throne. I don't see why not. Right, this battle is... thankfully this time it's going to plan. We do seem to have the edge. But I'm going to win this battle and hopefully these sieges all within a few months, and then we can consolidate our efforts in defending in the south. Let's withdraw the troops here. Another new stewardship perk. Everything's happening at once. Let's go for toe the line. Hopefully we reduce the chances of factions being formed against us. I'll send an advanced vanguard towards their capital and see if we can end this hopefully a lot quicker than initially planned. And you chaps are going to go via land. Almost won the siege here as well. That'll be excellent. We can consolidate our army here under one massive siege. We do have a load of prisoners we've just taken. We'll be ransoming them, trying to get some money in. Octavia comes of age. Now, Octavia does not have a husband currently. So, Octavia. I think we're going to continue to marry matrimonially. And I think here we're going to look for someone who's roughly the same age. So, she's 16. I think we'll go for Gecko here. That'll give us also an alliance, albeit a small one. But we need to start forming treaties in the local area. As you can see, we're in a spot of bother. So, an alliance formed here. She's got 2.6k troops should we need them. She is sadly, she's pretty far away. But it's an alliance there that exists should we need to call upon it. Okay, so unfortunately here, our vanguard has been isolated. And they're not having a good time of it. I'm hoping our reinforcements can arrive in time, but it's looking a little bit rough. Yeah, they're not getting there in time. We are sending our next load of troops to hopefully try and catch them, and then our actual main standing army's coming in. There's a thoughtful expression. Is there anyone special to you, my lord? Yeah, there's no need for a dedication or a throne. And if anything, I'd name the throne after myself. We are going to hold up the troops here, hopefully for long enough that my own actual professional standing army can come in. Of course, they're not going to because I forgot to order them to go all the way, so that's fantastic. At least our main army's actually winning this battle. How is the battle going in the south here? They've got 3.5k within our land. Honestly, that's not that much. I think we could probably deal with them relatively easily. I bump into a very grave-looking Silabanja, my carpenter, hoping that he doesn't bring ill news of the splendid throne he should soon have ready for me. Oh, there you are, my liege. I have hit a wall with my work. Nothing major. My ideas have gone to ground as the pressure mounts, he laughs nervously. I just need some inspiration, mighty Rex. Might you have some prior examples I could examine? We can go to the Great Hall. We can take him out for some vigorous exercise. We can give him a tonic. I think we'll take him out and use our athletic nature. It's lost 2 progress, that's not ideal. We have just offered to join that war, but believe me, we'll be doing very little in terms of actually helping. I'm going to send the army here to gather and hopefully reform in some way. We have finally, look at that. Nova Roma is finally Roman. My god, it's taken a long time, hasn't it? I think we'll move over to Isthmium next. It's going to take 27 years. But we finally have a Roman holding. What a time to be alive. Now, they do actually still have a fair force here. They do possess a fair army. I think here what we might need to do is pull these troops out. Maybe bring them back down here so they're not in, they're not in danger of being destroyed. Then we really do need to try and get in here and do something about them. They've got 2,900 men arriving here. Where is our allies? 700 men there, 300 there, 500 there. I think we're going to have to call in the rest of our allies here. To our defensive war here. We need everyone we can get. We're in big trouble, my friends. Really big trouble. She has joined our war. Hopefully she gets her troops down here quickly and we can bring an end to this dire looking situation. They're trying to counter siege us in the north, but I think when this battle's over, this should be it. We should have what we need. Merge the armies. We've got 3,000 men there, right? They're 6.5k they almost have here. That's not looking good. We really do need our allies to get down here as soon as possible, don't we? We're going to end this one as quick as we can. Now this holding here, we are going to immediately give to you, my friend. You can have that back. Congratulations, Commes Flavianus, who is our friend, may I remind you. We're going to bring them down towards our capital. We'll try and gather our forces, and we really do. We need to rely on our allies. If our allies don't come, we are pretty much screwed here. Now they have declared war for the county of Vembanad. So they've declared for this one, strangely, not Eronad. I mean, each to their own. We'll deal with what we have in front of us. So, 1,500 troops there. Our ally has 2,000 men there that appear to be coming down to join us, but we're going to have to try and survive in the meantime, in the interim. I'll run around here replenishing as much as we can, but I would say I'm fairly cautious of what's going on here. If they can separate at some point, or maybe some of their allies go back, we might be able to do something, but this honestly really doesn't look good. They are actually retreating just now. So I'm going to move in, see if we can maybe siege this or get in their way. If they do come towards us though, I really do think we need to run. We can hire some mercenaries, and honestly I think I'm gonna. I think we need all the troops we can get. 3-year contract. We'll combine them. That's taking us up to 4.3k. They do appear to be coming this way though, which is not good for us. My lord, my beneficiary Silbanja gestures me over to an object covered in fabric with a wide grin on his face. I have toiled many days and nights, and finally my work is done. We have the Rex Kylanius throne. Excellent. So we have ourselves an actual throne that has been created for our throne room. And there it is. I'm quite happy with that. I think here we might actually have to retreat. We want to draw them in and have them take as much attrition as we can. Ideally we'd have hills or something like that to fight them in. We only really seem to have farmlands here. My daughter near Atia has given birth to a daughter. Since the little one is part of the Randolfica dynasty, it's suggesting Drusilla. I don't know how I feel about that. What other names have we got? We go for another Atia. Pexin. Magial. I think we'll have a throwback to the old gods. Even some of the Greek gods. We'll go for Athena. Pretty sure I've spelt it wrong as well. Okay, we've had another marshal die sadly, but we do have this individual here who we will be appointing to the role. He's going to be leading the military efforts of our holdings. Right, they are still taking attrition. I'm happy to lure them into this land as much as they can. They're taking masses of attrition here. 6.4k. They're out of supply. I reckon we're going to try and draw them in here and fight them. We don't want farmlands though. Ideally we'll fight them in these mountains, although I'll wait just now so our supply doesn't get ruined. Any allies nearby on their way? Doesn't really look like it, does it? Since about a month back, I've been having a reoccurring dream in which I discussed theology with Pluto, Minerva and Mars. Perhaps they have chosen me to spread their word and reward me with their blessings in turn. I will pray to Pluto for wealth and abundance, Minerva for knowledge and wisdom. I think at this point we'd be praying to Mars. 100%. Like we need the wisdom in battle, don't we? 100% move towards them. Let's see if we can draw them into a battle. We can maybe attack them, but we don't want them getting that defender advantage, do we? Right, before we attack them, I'm going to have one look. Any allies en route? 2,000 men coming there. I reckon we'll stay here for as long as we can. We'll see if those allies are coming. If this siege progresses too much though, we will have to attack. We really do. They're coming though. Those 2,000 can make all the difference here. My granddaughter Drudave is the spitting image of her grandmother, Candra Batarika, I think that is. But the likeness is not only on the surface, it runs much deeper. Through is a cunning girl just like her grandmother before her. Perhaps it is truly Candra Batrika who has returned to walk the earth. Gains the trait reincarnation. What? I've never seen that before. That's the first time I have ever seen that. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. Right, our allies slowly getting here. I think we're going to have to attack. Here they come. I think we're going to give them a few more days and then we're going to have to commit to this battle. Right, my friend. We are going in once you get there. And let's go. This is the battle that will basically decide this war. We've managed to catch some of their troops. Oh no, this is looking like it's going to be on a knife's edge. Okay, it's looking balanced just now. There's reinforcements going to come in from both sides. This looks pretty bad. Our allies just haven't committed to us the way we were hoping they would. And we have been defeated here very soundly. Very, very soundly. Got 2.4k men left standing, but this war I think's over. We're on the back foot here in a massive way. Really not sure what we can do here, if anything. I think we're in really big trouble. Got 5.5k still, so they only lost 1,000 men. We lost almost 1,500. I'm going to move back over. Maybe we can contend with them again. I keep wondering if we should be trying a new commander. It doesn't seem to be that we are the best option here. I'm going to try to go around them, and I'm going to try and unsiege this holding, although they're about to siege this. So maybe we should just defend here. I might go to the mountains, see if we can entice them in. Barrow Julius Caesar. We obviously have to give him a position at our court. That just had to be done, didn't it? So our plan here is to try and get into the mountains, lure them into, I guess, attacking us, and then defend. Although, honestly, I think this war's done. I think it's just going to get away from us. We do have another stewardship perk this time. We're going to go for Chains of Loyalty. And we have yet another councillor dead. This was our spy master. So, I think here we need to go with our vassal here who does really like us. That should hopefully keep us safe in the long term. Right, we're in the mountains. Our allies abandoning us, which I don't get. This war's too late. I think it's away from us. I think we're done here. 99% war score it is. We're not going to finish that in time. Man, this has been rough. We can't assault the fort and rush. This will be 42 days. This is going to be a loss, and a really rough one at that. We're actually going to lose some land. Unless this ends very... Nah, I'm being overly ambitious here. Yeah, could see that coming. Right, our ally has actually berated us for not sending help, so I guess we're gonna send the troops up here to actually lend them a hand, despite the fact that he has not lent me a hand. But we'll send our legion, if we can still call them that, we'll send our legion north. Our legion has actually arrived in the north, and they're pretty much immediately going to go to work and try and subdue the independence revolt that we have against us here. Okay, in the north we have managed to bring our allies' civil war to an end, so we're gonna disband our troops, and honestly we're gonna sit here and I reckon we'd feel a little bit frustrated with the way things have played out this episode. But we do end here. I would say we're in a fairly precarious position. Kylanius has aged. I would say his conquests here have not been too much to celebrate. We have actually lost some land in the southwest here, but I'll tell you what, we will remember this. We will not forget that, and that will be avenged in the very close future. Whilst we did lose some land here, though, we did make an expansion up here in the northeast. One of the previous Roman Enclaves, we've managed to expand that to its previous territorial bounds, and hopefully that is something that we can continue to expand on here. I have to say, though, the alliance system that we were mocking and saying wasn't in place has well and truly kicked in now, and all of our expansion has been painful and like pulling teeth. But my friends, we finished this episode for there. I think I'd say we were on the back foot, but we're now starting to strengthen our position. Our economy is our biggest strength. We can genuinely afford to hire mercenaries every few years, so hopefully that's something we can continue to do should we need it. But until the next one, take care of yourselves, and goodbye for now.